I don't know if this is gonna work. Who's on? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. This is a test, so I'm gonna test for like, I don't know, 4 minutes or so. Who's on? Who's on? Who's on? Jolene, am I cutting out? Am I good? I'll talk here for like 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll see what happens. Again, this is just test. Last time I was on, and I'll explain that later when I actually do start, I was cutting out, so hopefully this time I won't cut out. Hopefully I am good. You guys can hear me. I am not cutting out. Please let me know. You good. Thanks, Layla. Misty, thanks, Misty. How you say your last name? You probably can't tell me. Sayas or Sayes? I don't know. Ses. Or is S, or is the Y silent? C's. Alright, is it? Anyways. Okay, very good sound. Okay, cool. You can hear me though? Good. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I was gonna plug in my mic, but if you guys can hear me fine, I'm not gonna plug in my mic because it's at the bottom of my phone. And I know that if I turn my phone, it makes me go sideways, right? Am I right? But I think this should be fine. I don't know. Holy, look at my nose, it's just shiny. Oh, shit. Oh, just yeah. Makeup! I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna start at noon. I'm gonna leave this feed going, so I'm not gonna stop this, but I'm just gonna leave this going. And I just need to grab a couple things really quick. And but everything, you can hear me. Good. All right, I'm not going to use my microphone if you guys can hear me. I'm pretty loud anyways, so that's good. Yeah, I think I need to grab some stuff here. I think I have everything, but I just want to make sure. Oh, I'll be right back. Where's that, son?
I'm looking for it. Wait.
Here. I said thank you. Okay, I'm coming back. I'm back. Oh. Hoo-yah! All right, power hour time. What's up going? What's up going? Let me see. Before I start doing everything, just want to say hello to everybody. Small eye shortened. Oh, huh? Small eye missed. Okay. What up, Brad? What up, Jackie? What up? Loud and clear, bro. Thanks. Keith, what's up? Jason, everybody, what's up? Hello, son, or son. Nicholas, Gene, what up, Gene? I like Gene. Gene is all the presenters today have been awesome. I mean, not today, but throughout the last 2 weeks have been awesome and so inspirational and knowledgeable and kind, and their hearts are so warm. You know what I mean? They're genuine. You know, they're real. You know, so it's really cool. The ladies that were singing was really cool. Man, women are powerful. We all know that. It's really, really cool. Gene, like I was saying, Gene was kind of giving me to this. I like Gene because he does a lot of storytelling, and in essence, I guess in order to start that, that's what this is it. This is what it's about. Is comedy, and in essence, that's exactly what comedy is. It's storytelling. Some people just have a setup, a punchline, and all that stuff. And but that's kind of more or less either a really short story or a long story. And comedy is in itself storytelling. In my opinion, a storytelling method, I guess you'd say, but kind of a different spin on it. But that's kind of what it is. To let you guys know, well, hey, Panitan, and he said, "Was not get Kasey Nicholson hasihina ninana aani." I just said introduction really quick. They call me Kasey Nicholson. My real name is Wasnakek. I come from the Aani tribe, the White Clay tribe in Fort Belknap, Montana. So if you guys didn't know that, my mom was Grovant, but I got jokes about that later. And my dad's Blackfeet. I got jokes about that later. Also, from those two sides, I'm also a bunch of other Indians. Like I'm a mutt. I'm a straight up mutt. Like I'm a droopy-eared, discolored, three-legged, multicolored. Did I already say that? Yes. Mutt. I really am. That's who I am. I have all these different tribes in me, and it's a beautiful thing, but there's no but. It's just a beautiful thing. But I was gonna say it was also, so I'm Grovant. I don't like that word, but Aani, Blackfeet, Pekani, Unscapi Pekani, also Crow, Apsalaga, Cree, Arapaho. There's somewhere down the line where I'm a part Alaska Native, so any Alaska Natives in here, go help me find my family. That'd be cool. I'm also part Hawaiian, so if there's any Hawaiians there, come get me and take me over to the island and help me find my family. I'm just joking. I'm not Hawaiian, but I'm also New Zealand. I'm Maori. No, I'm just joking. Not either. I'm also Thai. So if I have any Thai family members here watching, I would love to go to Thailand. I'm just joking. I'm not Thai either. All these other places I would love to go visit. Come find me and we'll go visit them someday, somehow, some way. Hopefully maybe do a comedy show over there one day if I get really, really well known. But yeah, so that's kind of who I am. I've been doing comedy for 10 years, which is really cool. This will be my 10th year. Be going on I think it's my 10th year. I started in, where did I start? I started in, long story short, I started in Fort Belknap, Montana, and I seen this one comedian named J.R. Redwater. Some of you guys might know who he is, J.R. Redwater. He's a really good, awesome, good brother of mine, good comic, great comic. He was on a Showtime with a bunch of other comedians, and I'm trying to make the story really quick too and trying to get into the nitty-gritty stuff. But he was a comedian. He got in there, and he was in the Showtime, with all these other great native comedians. And I heard that he was coming to a conference in Rapid City that I was attending. And, his show was following that night, or one of those nights. And so I was like, oh, cool, man, I want to check out, this comedian, And I don't think I've ever seen a live native comedian. Honestly, I've never seen a native comedian live in person telling their jokes. And I've been to other shows here and there, but never a native comedian. So this had been my first time in Rapid City. I think it was in 2009 this happened. And I went there at Rapid City, and I seen this guy. He was up there. He got up there. He killed it. He was making me laugh. He cut a couple jokes that had me in tears. And all I could do, this is the honest to God truth, all I could do is just look and then see myself in that spot. It was really, really cool. Like, I could see myself doing that as he was making all this crowd laugh. all I could see is myself up there saying, I can do that, I can do that, and I can do that. And after the show, I went and talked to him, and I said, hey, J.R. Redwater, what's up? Good, big fan. I haven't seen you before, but man, you're hilarious on Showtime, hilarious tonight. And he said, hey, thanks, bro. He said, I came all the way from California, and I'm sick. I don't really feel well, but I'm like, man, you can't even tell. You killed it. It's really cool. And I said, how much would it cost for me to bring you to my rest, for Belmont Reservation? And he's like, oh, well, I don't know. He said, shoot me an email, and we'll work out a deal. So I shot him an email, worked out a deal, brought him over to Fort Belmont, Montana, and I made that thing so I went on the radio. I was telling everybody every little while. I was inviting people, personally inviting people. I was telling everybody about the show for like, I don't know, say a month maybe. I don't know, for a long time. And finally I ended up getting him. And we packed this in Harlem, Montana. It's about 3 miles off our res. And the school allowed me to rent the gym And they said there's a maximum capacity of like 270 or something like that. Some crazy thing. 240, 270. I don't know. I can't remember. But we ended up lining out all these chairs. I think 270 chairs or 250 chairs, something like that. And as I was kind of getting, back and forth, making sure he had everything, making sure people were still enjoying themselves, get ready. This is going to be a good time, J.R. Redwater. And everybody's known him already because he's been on Showtime and all these great things. And I went backstage and I went back there for like 10 or 15 minutes. And then I peeked out in the curtains and the whole gym was packed. It was one of the best native comedy shows that I've seen in terms of attendance. And it was freaking awesome. Like, all the chairs were full, and there's these little 2 bleachers in the back. Those are all full. There was standing room only on the sides of the courts and on the side of the court. And I was just like, whoa, this is so cool. And then he hit me with this. He said, hey, Kasey, how come? He said, Kasey, I don't have nobody to open up for me. I'm like, oh my God, what? You don't have anybody to open up for you? I was like, I was really thinking, maybe I get someone to go sing. And so I asked this one girl, high school girl, to go up and sing. So she went up there and she sang country, kind of made the crowd kind of like, kind of not dead, but kind of just more relaxed, And if you ever been to a comedy show, you don't want to be relaxed. You want to be there. You want to get ready. You want to be laughing. So they said, he's like, bro, do something, anything. All I could think of was music, I was like, oh, I'll play some music, And so I went out there and I danced a little bit to some music before his set. And then I don't know what I was doing. I really didn't know what I was doing. I picked on some people in front of me, and lo and behold, it was one of our spiritual people in front of us. And I picked on him and his wife, and they were laughing, and everybody's like, oh, like you said that to our spiritual advisor. You said that to one of our spiritual leaders, and I'm up there and I'm just enjoying myself. But I said that stuff, in a zone. But not knowing afterwards that I was doing stand-up. I thought I was just being Kasey, more or less. I was just being Kasey. There was no setup. There was no punchline. I was just saying stuff. I was really nervous, and this is what I was saying. Lo and behold, like a month later, he had a show in Rocky Boy, Montana with Mark Yaffe, and then me, Chuck Mullock. He's also from Harlem. He's also part Alaska Native. Me, J.R. Redder, Chuck Mullock, Mark Yaffe. We're all there. I went over there with my wife at that time, and we sat down, and we were about to watch. And I said, hey, babe, I'm gonna go backstage. I'm gonna go check out the comedians, and we were sitting with our friends, and so I went back there, and they came and they asked me. They said, hey, bro. I was like, what? And they're like, hey, remember you said you were interested in comedy? Because when I was in Harlem, JR asked me if I was ever interested in comedy, and I'm like, sure, I guess. I'd be interested in comedy. Yeah. He's like, all right, cool. He never said anything after that. But at that show at Rocky Boy, that's when it came to. He's like, hey, remember you said you wanted to do a comedy show? Or you said you wanted to be a comedian? He said, now's your chance. And I'm like, huh? And he's like, now's your chance. We'll give you 5, 7, 8 minutes. And I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah, you want to do it now? I'm like, huh? Seriously, and I was like, everything it threw me wanted to say no, but I ended up saying yes. I was like, yes, and next thing you know, they called me up on stage. I'm there, I'm doing my thing. I did like 7 minutes, I think. I blanked out. I didn't know what I was saying. I didn't know what I was doing. Got off stage. I said, "Oh my God, you did so good. You killed it." I'm like, "What did I just do?" And that was my first time in Rocky Boy, Montana that I've ever, and that was 2010, that I ever did comedy. And then at that time, it was such a rush. It was such an adrenaline rush, getting up there in front of all these greasy haze, right? And it was really an eye-opening experience. And then 4 years later, I kept working at the craft, kept doing the thing I was doing. And lo and behold, I quit my job in 2014, 15, something like that. And told my wife, I said, "I'm going full-time." She's like, "Full-time what?" I was like, "I'm quitting my job." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm quitting my job." She's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I'm done. I've had anxiety attacks. I've had panic attacks. I'm not happy. I'm getting depressed. I'm not happy." She's, and this is the best thing that she could say, it was really cool. Is she's like, she wanted to like argue, and we want to have a safety net of the 8 to 5, go to work at 8 to 5 and saying, okay, we're for sure guaranteed money in terms of going to a job. We're secure. I know she wanted to argue that. But what was really cool, she's seen how unhappy I was. She's seen how miserable I was going to be, or how I was creeping to be, I guess, and creeping up to be. And she just said, "Okay, do what you got to do." And I was like, okay, what do we do? And I started, sending out emails, and doing little gigs here and there, for free, or just to get my name out and all that stuff. And then doing little conference stuff. And when I'd go speak, I'd tell the conferences, "Hey, I also do comedy. Would you be interested in a little comedy show?" And opening up for comics, here and there, and just trying to build my craft, I guess, and that's in a nutshell. That's kind of how I started the comedy. That's how I started to become a full-time comedian, wellness speaker, motivational speaker, and that's where I am at today, And so I've been doing comedy for 10 years, and I'll throw you some jokes, I guess. I guess that's where we start, right? And as comedians, as comic or natives, even especially natives, we go out to the world, and there we are, and we have all these pains and these traumas, and I hate it. I hate it when our people will laugh at people, I don't hate it, but when it happens to you personally, like when you're walking, la la la, then you trip, and then no one really like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" "Oh my gosh, you skid your knee, oh you banged you broke your arm, or oh there's blood gushing out of the side." They don't like, "Oh my God." What they first do is they laugh, right? They laugh, and I'm just like, what? In my mind, I'm like, why are they laughing? Like, what's going on? They do. When you fall, people laugh. Natives laugh at you. I don't care if you're freaking stabbed or shot or you fell, they will laugh. You should have seen the look on your face when you were shot. Oh my God, that was so crazy. Then after that, "Are you okay?" Like, holy cow, I'll pray for you. A light smudge up for you, And, or banging a toe, like, you as yourself, you bang your toe, walking around, you bang your toe, and people laugh, they just laugh instinctively. And they're bouncing around, right? Like, Why don't they, it's something that hurts. Why wouldn't you laugh, And then there's broken heart, the broken heart time, like, "She broke up with me." Indians will never sit there and say, "Hey, oh my God, are you okay? I'm so sorry she broke up with you. Oh my God. You don't need her anyway. Just get out there and find something Pacific you want to do." And you're like, "Pacific? What? Don't you mean specific?" "Yeah, that's what I mean, Pacific," And so, they don't even like encourage you. They just laugh at you. Even in your hardest times, in your breakup times, they just, "Oh my God, you broke up with her?" You broke up with her. You don't need her anyway, They just, no sympathy, Your heart could be broken. You could be tearing up, "I miss her." Smelling her old clothes, "Oh, I just miss her." Her socks, These are socks. And it's just like, why, all that stuff. And working out and being sore, You ever work out and that's what I'm going through right now. I work out and I am sore. Like, I am sore, but I'm not like, Like when people look at you and they poke you, you know, like Indians don't, oh, you saw this guy? And they go right into the source about your leg or your arm or your chest or whatever, you know, you saw this guy, huh? And they think it's funny. You're like, you're about crying because you're so sore. And then, oh yeah, anyways, so that's what I'm going through right now is being sore, you know, it's really, it sucks, you know, and, geez, I hate it, you know, and you have to be sore though in order for your muscles to get working. And I automatically, when I think about natives, you know, being fit, you know, there's tons of natives out there being fit, you know. One of the ones that come in my mind is Thosh, you know, Thosh Collins and Chelsea, his wife Chelsea, and when just recently, wife, I think they got married. They did get married. And when I think about fit, you know, I think about Martin Sensmeyer as well too, but not who. Martin Sensmeyer. All those Indian women that are watching right now. All you Indian women, you're guilty of it. Even if your husband is right there watching with you. When I said Martin Sensmeyer, you got little tiny butterflies all up in your stomach, and you're like, ooh, Martin Sensmeyer. I know you did. You're. Ooh. Oh, you know what's another thing? Here you go. Here's another thing. When Indian women say, I don't like facial hair. Facial hair is sick. The white men with those facial hair and their hairy chestes, I don't like them. They're sick. They got food crumbles stuck all in their mouths, and then you could see their Cheetos and everything. It's just sick, you know. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Not knowing they're not ever gonna like, you know, men with beards. Then guess who comes out with a beard, and he freaking swims in the ocean, freaking Aquaman, Jason Momoa, and then all the women are and I'm just like, and my wife, I'm just like, what? Why are you drooling over this guy? You just told me, like when we first met, that you don't like guys with facial hair. You don't like guys with beards. And there you are, you're drooling over this Jason Momoa. But, and I'm like, no, but you said he is sick. But look at him. He makes that beard look good. I'm like, oh my gosh. And if I try to grow a beard, it's just like, you know, one long hair here, one long hair here, one long hair here, you know. So, I mean, anyways, but thinking of, everybody, Martin, went off on a Martin, good-looking guy, good fit people, tangent there, but also there's a, Thosh, let's talk about Thosh, and if you ever seen Thosh Collins work out on his videos on Instagram, go follow him, and all their channels and the things they do, eating well, making all these foods, it's really, really cool, but Thosh is like, he has muscles on top of, like he's so skinny, it looks like his bones have muscles. That's like how fit he is, you know? Like if I got skinny like that, you would just see bone. Like it goes from fat to bone. That's it. There's no muscle in between. It's just fat, bone. And but him, it's just like his muscles have, his bones have muscles. Like he flexes and his bone flexes with him. Like it's freaking nuts, but it's really, really cool how fit he is and how dedicated he is to his diet. Really, really cool. But, you know, when I've been working out off and on too, and I sometimes will do CrossFit stuff, and I always think, you know, all these things that all these workout people always do, they're always like spitting these nice, you know, these nice words, you know, like, I tore, or I really worked out my traps and my psoas, and you're what? You're what? Your psoas? And they're like, yeah, my psoas is right here, and I'm like, isn't that I think you're calling it the wrong thing. Like, I don't think it's so in front of as. I think it's just, you know, the last part of that word, so as, you know. And they're like, no, there's a muscle way in there, and it's really deep, and if you don't massage it, you don't work that out, you can have weak hips. I'm like, so I'm thinking, all right. So I was around with all these CrossFit people, all these people that work out and they're buff, you know, and they eat well, you know. And I was like, I wanted to act like I'm really, really tough, you know. I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, I want to act like I know what I'm talking about. I say, yeah, I did that too, you know. I tore my hemoglobin, you know. I tore it really good, you know, that hemoglobin on that side of your body, you know. I tore that, you know, and I pulled my legume, you know. My legume is really sore too, and man, I really worked out my kale, man. I really worked my kale out, man. I think I strained it, you know. And then I really like felt it in my homo erectus, you know, and I felt it in my homo erectus, and I even think I even felt it in my fetus, you know. I think my fetus felt what I was doing in this workout, man. Yeah, you know, and all the CrossFit guys are looking at me like, what? What? That's gross, man. I'm like, what? And they explained to me everything I was saying was totally off. Oh my gosh. And I want to work out, honestly. I did want to work out because of I was starting to wear out the sides of my shoes, like more than my soles. Like I was getting pretty chunky, I was getting pretty chunky. I was getting pretty fluffy. I was getting pretty bulbous. I was getting big. And I want to work out because the sides of my shoes were being more worn out than the bottom of my shoes. And I couldn't tie my shoelaces. It was hard, and when I work out, or when I would watch TV, I'd just breathe heavy, just watching freaking football, and I'd be like, just breathing heavy, and I'm like, holy cow. And just also, what else did I? Oh, there was another thing too, where when I was big, and I lay down, I was really big, and I would lay down, and then all my weight would come up to my neck. When you lay down, everything kind of just comes up to your face, and everything kind of slides to the sides, so either up or to the sides when you're laying down. And my lady, she was getting all crazy with me, she wanted to kick it up a notch, and she's like, hey, and I was like, what? She said, let me suck a hickey on you. I'm like, oh, no, don't, get off. She's like, come on, your neck smells like commodity cheese. I'm hungry. And I was like, no. She's like, all right, come here. And I couldn't move because, all that weight was on me, and she grabbed me and she started sucking a hickey on my neck, And the next morning I got up, and I got up and I went into the bathroom and I was brushing my teeth, and I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, what the heck? I said, where did that hickey go? Where the heck did that hickey go? I said, babe, did you take that hickey away from me? Did you put a cold spoon on my neck while I was sleeping? Did you take some chapstick caps and freaking twist till that hickey was gone? She's like, no, it's still there, I think. I'm like, really? Here, I lifted up my shirt, and shoot, my hickey was way down by my belly button. My hickey went from my neck down to my belly button. That's how big I was. So I figured I better lose some weight, right? So I started working out. I started doing the things I wanted to do. And eventually I got really somewhat fit, not really fit, but I got feeling better about myself. And but that's kind of a little hickey story or losing weight story. I don't want to take up too much time in terms of jokes. Some people ask me, why do they call you crazy? I'm like, well, I don't know. My grandma called me crazy when I would always make her laugh. I would always make my grandma laugh. I was a big grandma's boy. She'd always say, oh, hey, man, you're so a hawkcat. She'd call me a hawkcat all the time, my grandma. And hawkcat in Aani or Grovant means crazy, and I didn't know what crazy meant, or I didn't know what hawkcat meant. And she every summer she'd always call me a hawkcat, and I would just shake my head like I know what she was talking about, but I didn't speak the language. And she's like, one summer she asked me, she said, Kasey, I'm like, what? She said, do you know what a hawkcat is? And I'm like, no, Grandma, I don't know what a hawkcat is. There's all these years I've been not telling you you're a hawkcat and you don't know what it means. I'm like, no. She said, oh, my boy. She said, it means crazy. You're crazy, my grandson. You're crazy. And I'm like, oh, she said, say it. I'm like, crazy. No. She's like, no, say a hawkcat. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And she's like, no, you're saying it wrong. She said, a hawkcat. So I said, a hawkcat. Over and over, I repeated it. And eventually, she just laughed. But when she laughed, she's like, ooh! She laughed really loud. Like that. But, old women, they'll cover their mouths, right, when they first laugh. But this time, because I said it, I caught her by surprise. And I said, a hawkcat. And I said it really good. She's like, ooh! She really laughed. But when she laughed, her freaking dentures came flying out of her freaking mouth. And I was like, oh my God, because all this time I thought she had freaking pearly whites, I didn't know she had dentures. So when her freaking teeth come flying out, I'm like, and I seen her teeth laying on the ground. She just like laughing now. And she kept saying, oh, hawkcat, you're a hawkcat. I'm like, oh my God, Grandma, your teeth are on the ground. Your teeth are on the ground. Oh my God, Grandma. And I'm just crying, right? And I'm like, oh my God, it's so traumatic. And it was traumatic to me, But that's why she called me crazy, because I would always make her laugh, And and she'd always tell me, "Oh, you're crazy, you're crazy." And every summer she'd ask me, "Do you know what a hawkyat means?" I'm like, "Crazy, Grandma." You'd always tell me it means crazy. "Oh, how do you know that?" Every summer. "How do you know?" I'm like, "You told me that last summer, Grandma." And she's like, "Oh my God, I did." And I think that's how I came up with the name Crazy Kasey, because it's kind of a dedication, or like a remembrance of my grandma. She was probably one of my biggest fans. She thought I was hilarious. Even when I think no one else thought I was hilarious, she thought I was hilarious. So that's probably why I came up with Crazy Kasey. Maybe I probably attribute that a lot of me being a comedian is because of her laugh. She had an awesome laugh. She encouraged me, or I don't know if she was encouraging me. I guess she maybe was by laughing, but thinking about that stuff, she was really cool. She was really my big support. And I think from that, I gained confidence to think I was funny. But I never really tried to be funny. Like, I wasn't really trying. Like, I wouldn't go out to the classroom and say, "Okay, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to make them all laugh." It wasn't like that. It was just me being Kasey was being Kasey. And I just went and I did my thing. And sometimes I'll speak before I think. And I think a lot of comedians do that. And we'll speak before we think. And we're like, "Oh, just go with it. It's too late to backtrack. You can't backtrack now." So that's kind of one of the biggest reasons why I became a comedian, And I was thinking about another crazy moment is when my wife was giving birth, and she was giving birth, and and she was there, and she screamed in Great Falls, Montana, "Ah!" And I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" I went over there and ran over to her, right? And I was like, "What's going on?" She's sitting there, and she's just all wet down by her, her private part right there, she's all wet. And I'm like, "Did you pee yourself?" She's like, "I don't think so." And I was like, "Well, what happened?" She's like, "I think my water broke." I'm like, "Oh my God, your water broke." In my mind, being educated, taking sexual education, taking all these classes in college, I was thinking, "Oh my God, the baby's gonna die." So I grabbed that water and I started throwing back up to her, right? She's like, "Knock it off, knock it off." And I was like, "Oh my God, we gotta go to the hospital." So we went to the hospital. And we got to the hospital, they put her in stirrups. Everything's being shown. I'm like, "Oh my God, and for me, it's traumatic. I don't know what's going on. I've never had a kid. I've never dealt with this. I can only imagine the pain that she's going through, and her face is showing. She's like, every time a contraction would come, right? And I'm like, "Oh my God, somebody get her some medicine." And she's being a strong Indian woman, man. She doesn't want medicine. She's like, "I don't want medicine," And I'm like, "Don't give her medicine. Don't give her medicine." And so she didn't have any medicine, no epidural, no nothing. Straight, strong Indian woman. She even freaking took out her braids and let her hair out, She's like, "I'm ready to get this baby out," I'm like, "Oh my God, this is so traumatic for me. Get this baby out right now." And they're like, "Okay, on the count of 3, we're going to push, right? 1, 2, 3. And so we're all pushing, right? I'm holding her leg. And I'm really pushing. The nurse taps me on the shoulder. She's like, "Hey, sir, you're not supposed to push. She's supposed to push." I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought, what? My bad. Thank God, because I was about to pass out and I was about to have my own brown babies, She's like, "Oh, gross." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. That's true. You told me to push. I was pushing and I was almost going to poop myself." But she's like, "All right, I want to come through and poop," and we're sitting there. And as I'm helping my wife push this life out, I'm laughing, I'm laughing because I don't know what's going on. I'm just like, Indians, we just laugh at a lot of our pain, like, "Oh, check this out." She's like, "Shut up." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Because I'm laughing, and it's not a right time. You should be laughing while your wife's getting pregnant, or while your wife's being given birth to your firstborn son. The baby comes out, boom, and the first thing that I can think about, and I don't know if the baby really came out like boom, but it came out, right? But to me, it was like boom, and I'm like, "Oh my God," like, oh, whoa, what is it? And I don't know exactly what it was, but it's like, there it is, and then the baby's out there, and the first thing I could think of is, I didn't really know my language then, but something came out inside of me, something deep within, came inside of me, and I war cried, but I war cried really loud, and the white doctor, the white nurse was like, "Oh my God, somebody called the cops," and I didn't know my language, so I just started saying, "Shumani Titanka, oh, you are pishin yellow," lines from Dances with Wolves, because that's the only language I knew, and but I want to feel like I war cried. I said some Indian words, native words, and And I grabbed that baby, and the nurse said, we're going to have one more delivery. We're going to have one more birth. And I'm like, or one more delivery. I'm like, what? Another? We're having twins? Oh, my God, this is so cool. And okay, bear down, ma'am. Ma'am, bear down. And she's like, bearing down. And freaking that it came out, whoo, that boom again, And I looked at it, and I'm like, ah, no! Oh my God, where's his eyes? Where's his hands? Where's his feet? And the nurse tapped me on the shoulder, sir, that's not a baby. I was like, what is it? She's like, that's the placenta. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was about to give that up for adoption, because I didn't know that the placenta came out after the baby. I didn't know anything about that. So when they said they're going to have one more delivery, I thought it was another baby, but it was actually placenta. And it came out, and it was, oh my gosh. Anyways, there's a traumatic experience that happened to me. And I think for a lot of people, like when I say when we're speaking our language or doing that stuff, it's hard to be Indian, I really think and I believe that it's hard to be Indian. I do. I think in our world today, I think it's hard to be Indian. We're a beautiful people. We're a beautiful community. We have a lot of things going for us, but we have a lot of things going against us. And one of the things that's going against us is when I first started doing this comedy thing, and I think it was 2014, 15, something like that, 15. And I wanted to start kind of going out on a limb and trying to start making, start doing jokes to not just native crowds. I wanted to see if I'm funny in front of white crowds, black crowds, Mexican crowds, whatever kind of crowd besides native crowds. So I started taking the leap and started doing open mics in Billings, Montana. I started taking a leap and entering comedy competitions, local comedy competitions. And I remember one of the first comedy competitions that I did, I'm sitting there and I'm looking through this my joke list. You only got 5 minutes. You only got 5 minutes. Are these the 3 jokes I want to tell? Are these the jokes I really want to go? Do I want to do a storytelling one? Do I want to do punchline? Do I want to do simple humor? What do I want to do? So I'm going through this list, and I'm thinking, what should I do? And there's this white guy, And they say, hey, buddy. And remember, this is Billings, Montana. And I was like, are you talking to me? He's like, yeah. He said, are you in that comedy competition? I'm like, yes, I am. He's like, well, what are you? Me and my wife been sitting here, and we've been thinking, what kind of ethnicity is that man over there right now? And I looked at him, and I put my braid, like this, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm American Indian. He's like, oh, dang it. I said, I lost a bet to my wife. He said, I thought you were Asian. And she thought you were Mexican. I'm like, what? He said, if you're Indian, if you're a real Indian, he said, prove it. See, now when I say it's hard to be Indian, I don't hear anybody in this world ever telling somebody else to prove their ethnicity, to prove their race, or to prove that this is who they are. So I looked at that white man. I said, you want me to prove that I'm Indian, huh? All right, I see you, white man, I said. So I went back to the building, and I grabbed the horse that I rode in on, hey. It was an 18-hand high horse, and I was there, and then it had a lightning bolt down on its thigh, it had a painted handprint on its butt, it had feathers in its hair, it had a circle around its eye, and I was, whoa, and it was my war horse. I said, does this prove to you that I'm Indian? He's like, everybody has a horse. I'm like, So I said, all right, I'm going to get on the horse. I got on the horse, right? But I didn't just get on the horse. I jumped on the horse. When I got on that horse, I let out a war cry. And I said, hey, does that prove to you that I am, the way I got on this horse prove to you that I'm a native? And he's like, no, you look like a Mexican jumping on a horse screaming around. I'm like, I said, all right. I said, well, so I took out my hair, right? I took out my hair, and it started blowing in the wind. And there was no wind. Hey, that's how Indian I was, right? And the eagle that I rented was flying above my head, just in case for this day, And I said, does this prove to you? And I started undoing all my stuff. Undoing all my clothes. Sorry, I had a mind blank. It's like, what was I undoing? Undoing my clothes, and the last thing I was left with, with my caramelized skin and my buttery nipples, I was just sitting there in my buckskin thong. I looked at that man, and my muscles were just chiseled and ripped. I said, does this prove to you that I'm Indian? He's like, nope. No, yeah, no, I'm sorry. And I'm like, ugh. So I pulled this out, right? Woo. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything. I said, hold on to your woman. I said, it's about to get real, I said. And he's like, don't be trying any funny business. I said, I'm not trying any funny business. You told me that you wanted me to prove to you, white man, that I am Indian. So I am proving to you, sitting on this horse, this war pony with feathers in his hair, eagle flying over me, my hair blowing in the wind, my body, my chiseled hot body, my buckskin thong. I said, this is Indian, and this last to prove to you that I'm Indian, I will play this. And then when I opened my eyes, all the animals, land animals, were behind me. And I told him, as his wife was floating to me, hey, I said, now does this prove to you that I'm Indian? He's like, get her down. I'm like, and I looked at this white woman. I said, oh, said, you're just ugly. Get out of here. And I was walking away with all the animals that I called with my flute. Walking away. I remembered what he said. He said, prove to me that you're Indian. Prove to me that you're a native. And I looked back and I said, give me your wife. And he reluctantly gave me his wife. Grabbed her arm and she grabbed me and she started holding me and rubbing me. As we were walking away and she's looking at me and I looked back at him and I said, hey, they don't call me many wives for nothing. And I walked off into the sunset with his wife and all my land animals. Prove to him that I'm Indian. That's what he gets for asking and prove to him that I'm Indian, because that's what we do, man. We pull out all the stop. We pull out everything. You want us to prove to you, then we'll prove to you, but be ready for the consequences. What's about to happen, we'll take your wife. We'll subdue you with our music and our songs and our dance. It's a good thing he didn't ask me to dance, boy. I probably would have had a husband. Oh, not even. I have nothing against it. I'm just saying I wouldn't do that, So, another one is hard to be Indian. You guys used to get whipped, right? A lot of you guys used to get whipped. And I don't know how many of you guys get what? Thumbs. I need some thumbs. Who all got whipped? Who all got whipped? Give me some thumbs. Give me some thumbs. Like thumbs. No, I can't see your thumb. Put some blue thumbs on this. And who all got whipped? Anyways, we all got whipped. And I used to get whipped by my mom. Another traumatic event. And I used to get whipped by my mom. She came in, and she used to whip me with her thong. And this is one of the very first jokes I ever said, to give you an example. Very first jokes I ever said. She came in, she whipped me, and she whipped me with her thong. And no, not the thong that you guys are thinking about right now. It's not like the underwear that goes up your crack. Not that kind of thong. Not that kind, okay? It's called flip flop. She came in, and it's not like my mom with her thong whipped it out of her butt and try to aim it at me from down the hallway. Hey, get over here! And then you just hear it, it hits in your eye. You go to school the next day. Your friends are asking you, hey man, you high? And when I no man, it's pink eye. It's not that kind of thong. Okay, it's a thong where it's a flip flop. And, everything's good in the house when you hear flip, flop, flip, flop, flip, flop, right? Good in the house. But, things are about to go down when you hear flip, flip, flip. Because she's coming and she took the flop off. And, you panic. You put your butt to the corner of the room. You're like, no! She comes in. She starts trying to spank you, and you dodge and you move and you duck and do everything that you could possibly do until she hits you, right? She gets you. You fall to the ground. And you're sitting there and you're crying, and you realize the first war song, first victory song, first morning song, first battle song you've ever got was when your mom actually spanked you really hard and you started singing Indian, sing Indian. And no one ever has a freaking pretty cry face. So imagine my first war song, first battle song, and the way my face is like, just ugly, right? And then she's spanking you. She said, told you not to cry, and you're sitting there and you're just crying, until you can't cry anymore. And then she comes in and then you start this stuff, right? That's when she comes in. She asks you questions right there at that moment because she knows that you cannot answer questions. It's a setup, right? Tell me what's going on. Why are you crying? She speak English. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, H. And then shut up or else to give you something else to cry about. They always say that. Shut up or else to give you something else to cry about while you're crying your face off because your butt hurts, And she's like, shut up or else to give you something to cry about. And you pass out, right? And that's not the cycle part. What's the cycle part is, you're out, you wake up, after like a 2 or 3 hour nap, and you're wondering why your butt's sore. My butt's sore. Owie, oh. And you crawl to the door, and you look down the hallway, and there is your psycho mom. She's like, hey, baby, how you doing? How was your sleep? I hope you slept good. Your grandma's coming over. We're cooking your favorite dish. I love you. And you're sitting there and you're like, what the heck just happened? You just whipped my butt. And now you're telling me everything's good and you love me? You're such a psycho. And you go back into your room. And she says, I heard that. Flip. She's coming over to whip your butt one more time, right? So, but that's another joke that first joke I ever told was that, and there's some jokes I told you today, not too much, but there's some jokes. That's kind of my style of comedy. I'm still writing. I'm still trying to, succinct my jokes. And so I have more like bang, bang, laugh. So, it's a work in progress. You're always working on your craft. You're always trying to think of jokes that are going to be unique or your style or from your life so that you can only come up with, your style. So that's, as a comedian, that's what I try to do, granted, we're not LA comedians, the LA comedians get time. When they come up to Billings, Montana, they tell us how much time they get a night is like, 6, 7, 8, I don't know, open mics a night, It's crazy how many open mics they get. Here in Billings, Montana, we get maybe 2 or 3 a month, maybe, So to work on a craft is really, really hard in order to fine tune it, especially with mainstream. Because Indians, I think a lot of Native comics are funny to Indians, and that's really, really cool. But to be funny and bring our trauma or bring our laughs on a mainstream basis, we just gotta have the chance. We just gotta be able to be given the chance to say, you know what, we are funny. Our jokes are funny. Our humor is funny. We can make people laugh. Like I've won competitions, with Native humor. People like, you probably didn't tell any res jokes. You didn't tell any Indian jokes when you won the Montana comedy, Montana's Funniest Comedy Competition, did you? And I'm like, no, I told Native jokes. I told res jokes. And I end up winning a comedy competition by telling my jokes, by my experiences, by my res jokes, by my Indian jokes, by my life jokes. And I end up winning. And I also won another one in Missoula, Montana. Same thing. I won that comedy competition by bringing the crowd into my world, and bringing the crowd into what I experience and making it funny. And I think that's what us Indians do is we experience these traumas in our lives. So like for example, walking and falling, banging your toe, seeing your wife or giving birth, that's traumatizing. Being whipped by your mom's, being whipped, period, is traumatizing. Telling a white man telling you to prove that you're Indian, that's traumatizing. We experience all these traumatizing events in our lives, and I don't think a lot of people will experience these. But as a perspective from an Indian, I try to make the traumatizing events funny, because those happen to me, and I'm able to spin in a different way to say, oh my God, that sounds horrible, but that was so funny, and but I think that's really important as we think about trauma and healing, is that, laughing is healing. It really, really is. Laughing is, some people will argue if it's medicine or not, but, some people say laughing is medicine, or, comedy is medicine or whatever. But I do believe that laughing is healing. It really, really heals, it gets you to release, release maybe some stress, or release some pain, or release something. I've seen people at some of my comedy shows where they are laughing. They're laughing so hard. They are like laughing and then they're crying at the same time. And you want to talk about a double release. There it is. Here's your double release. Maybe you were holding something inside, that you didn't even know you were holding. You're maybe resentful at your mom, or maybe all the stuff you're hearing about the coronavirus and how that traumatizing that can be. Maybe our president, how traumatizing he can be, and how frustrated you can be at any politician. And realizing, like when I laugh, I can't believe I just started crying. Because maybe there was something inside you that needed to be released so much that, it just came out twice, laughing and then crying, and it's really cool. And I do that often sometimes, where I laugh so much I cry. And it's a beautiful feeling, because after you laugh and after you cry, you feel so relaxed. You feel just like, I just feel like I can go to sleep right now, because I feel so good because of all the endorphins, of all the things that are going on inside you, And when I think about stuff, it's a really cool concept, I was watching a presentation one time on the internet. I'm always trying to research different comedians or different talks and stuff. And this one guy said, if you lose the power to think, or if you lose the power to laugh, you lose the power to think. And I believe that. I really believe that. But I also want to expand it a little bit more too, because if you lose the power to laugh, then I think you lose the power to not only think, but relax and heal. Because if you think about a lot of people that can't laugh, or that don't allow themselves to laugh, how bitter and how angry or hurt or sad or mad or resentful they may be inside, they just can't. They can't think outside the box. They can't think. They don't allow themselves to flourish or to expand. They just sit there and just like, and we all know those natives. We all know those people, whether they be white, black, Mexican, polka dot, I don't care. But we all know those people that sit there and they just want, they're there at a comedy show, or they're there at a funny show, or everybody else is laughing, but there's that one person just, and you're like, come on, this guy, hurry up and laugh. It was funny. And they're just like this. And it's not because the person is not funny. It's probably because something inside them, it doesn't click. Something inside is not clicking with them, because they're not being open to the experience, So they're not able to think outside the box. They're not able to have their mindset think outside the box. They're just closed-minded. They're just like, no, I don't want to. I'm so mad at him. I'm so mad at them. This world sucks, And they're just there, And it's just like, man, what can we do? But I think the more we laugh, the more we watch comedy, the more we watch some positive things, we're chipping away all that hurt. We're chipping away at all that trauma, And that's what I do. When I see somebody that's not having a good time at one of my comedy shows, I'll keep chipping away at them. I'll keep doing things, and saying things. If I see something where I can make them giggle or laugh or smile, or make them feel a little bit uncomfortable, then I'll come back to the crowd, then I'll come back to them. I'll go to the crowd, I'll come back to them, and I'll slowly chip away at them. By the end of the night, most of the time, I can make them laugh. Now, probably not a full belly laugh, but I can start making them relax. Like, now you're in it. Now you're experiencing the comedy. Now you experience the energy that's already in this room. Don't fight it. Be with it. Let it heal you, And so when I think about that, that's another thing I think about, relax. Think about what's going on. Allow yourself to go outside the boundaries of your hurt, your hate, your pain, whatever may go. Relax, take a deep breath, and then laugh or cry and laugh, And then all of a sudden, they're having the best time of their life. Oh my God, I haven't laughed that hard in so many years. I really needed that laugh, And and that's why I think laughter is healing, is because you're able to let go of something that you've been keeping on for years, that you've been holding on to for. People tell me as a comedian, I haven't laughed that hard in years. I've heard other people tell other comedians, oh my God, you were so funny. I haven't laughed that hard in years. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why haven't you laughed that hard in years? There are so many things in this world to be laughing at. Your own mistakes, your own traumas, your own hurts, all that stuff is laughable. It helps you heal. It helps you get through it. Like having our land taken away, having us question who we are, calling us the prairie N-word, telling us we're stupid, that we don't know anything, that, all those things. Like I try to make jokes out of it so that when I hear that, it's traumatizing, but I can reword it, reconfigure it, and say, you know what? Here it is. Now it's funny. For me, it's funny. It's healing. That's what I do in terms of that. You ever think about on a physiological or a physical standpoint of laughing, you're healing too, right? Like you're like when you I don't see anybody ever laugh like this, not tense. When a person laughs, they kind of relax. The only thing I think that is tense is their abs. They're really and they're really flexing, which is really cool. So if you guys ever did that one exercise where you tighten up, everything tightens up. You tighten up, and you count to like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. Tighten, and then you slowly relax. I think that's what happens to our diaphragm when we laugh. It tightens. When we laugh, and you ever laugh so much you lose your breath? I can't breathe. And you start laughing some more, right? That's where your diaphragm is just contracting, releasing, contracting, releasing. And when you release and you laugh, you're releasing all these endorphins, all these feel-good things that are going, and you let go of all these other things that are going on, like cortisol, epinephrine, dopamine, all these stress hormones. And when you laugh, those actually get brought down, and then all the feel good stuff starts coming up, right? All your feel good hormones start coming back up and start overriding all these depressed hormones or these traumatic hormones or whatever they may be, the stress hormones, I guess. And so you got to think about that stuff as well. So how are we doing on time? Almost done. Okay, so think about kind of that stuff as well. I think it's a beautiful thing when we do laugh as Indian people. It helps us get through tough times. And like right now, as we think about it, I remember sitting in bed and think about everything that's going on in today's world right now. And, there's the fear, and I always think about, fear everything and run, or there's another acronym, face everything and rise. And I think I used to fear a lot. And now I'm in a mindset of like, I want to meet this fear. I want to make it. I don't see fear as debilitating. I see fear as strengthening me. Because my body is the natural response. It's getting ready to face something, and I want my body being able to compete or go against with whatever I'm fearing. I want to be able to conquer it, in other words. So I'm not going to run. I want to face everything and rise above it. I want to use it to so what I've been doing is, like, a lot of people, they'll sit there and they'll just watch news after news, and they'll watch Trump, and they'll watch all this pandemic stuff, and I'll watch all this traumatic stuff going on in today's world. They'll look at their life, and they'll focus on all this negative thinking. And I think, the only way for me to get me out of my zone is to watch something funny, to practice on my jokes, to get online with other comedians, to watch funny videos or funny movies, and laugh, And I think that's, for me, gets me into a motivational standpoint. It gets me ready to face whatever is coming towards me, to say, you know what, I'm ready for it. Whatever happens, it happens. But hey, it's going to be a hell of a ride, and I got this. I'm ready for it. And so that's how I deal with fear in that sense. So as we kind of go through the rest of our life, think about it. Think about what's going on in life. Think about what you can do to better prepare yourself for things to come. Not just the pandemic, not just for diseases, none of those things, Think about things that you can help to spin and make funny. Prepare yourself and take things, not to like brush off things or make fun of things. It's not really that. That's not my point. It's more or less to see the humor in things, to see the light in things, to see what can be funny, to be able to be teased, to build that resiliency, to build that shell, I guess you'd say, to say, what, no matter what happens, I'll be fine, I'll be okay. And I think as us Indian people or Native people, we have that ability to do that because we get teased, because we laugh, because we sit together and we make fun of each other. We do. oh my God, did you see? Man, that one time you had a wicked hanger and you were just sitting there acting all cute with him at that powwow. You remember you were just sitting there and you were just acting all cute and there was this freaking hanger and we were just laughing. And she's like, oh my God, I was wondering what the hell you guys were laughing at. You were laughing at me? Oh my God. And I bet you anything he was just looking at your nose. Oh my God, he was too. Oh my, I thought he was just looking at my new foundation on my nose. Oh my, highlight on my nose. Oh my God, he was looking at my booger. No wonder he said no. Hey, right? Again, a traumatic experience, making it funny. I mean, exactly. You know, us Indians, we like to tease people. So, let me leave you with a song, a wicked snagging song that I got my wife with. Hey, right? And I guess more or less, I hope you guys enjoyed today. Hope you guys are able to support Native comedy, Native entertainment, whether it be music, whether it be poems, whether it be speaking, whether it be whatever it may be. Support Native entertainment. Support Crazy Kasey Comedy, support Native Wellness Institute. I want to thank all the sponsors and everybody that came through helping us be able to bring you guys power hours. Thank Jillian and all the organizers, the board, and whoever else was setting this up and approving all this stuff for us to do Power Hour. I really enjoy it. I have nothing but love for my Indian people out there, and not just Indian people, but human beings in general. We all go through things in life that hurt us or that might traumatize us. But no, deep down inside, it's laughable. We can laugh it off. We can make fun of it. We can enjoy life. You know, even through the most traumatic times, we can enjoy life. I think as Indian people, that's how we got through a lot of stuff, is through our humor and laughing about the situations in our lives, you know. And don't be so wound up and balled up where you can't laugh, you know. Let go. Release. And hopefully this song that I stay my wife with allows you to release. And that's one time she was wearing a jingle dress, you know, and she was coming and I didn't know how to snag her, right? So my friend said, hey, a good way to snag is going, hey, ch-ch. And I watched them do it and it didn't work. So I did that one, hey. And she kept walking. I went, ch-ch. And it still didn't work. And I said, hey, you little pretty buttercup. And I grabbed a piece of fried bread and I threw it at her and hit her in the head. Punk! And I got her attention. She said, what the heck was that for? Then I started playing this. She looked at me and when she's wearing the jingle dress, she stopped. Because, you know, jingles, when they move, they go just. So when I threw the fry bread at her, she stopped. She turned around. She's like, she said, what are you doing? And I was playing that song. And she looked at me and she started getting these hearts in her eyes, right? And I was like, my bro was like, hey, man, you got it. Keep playing. So I was like, okay. And I was like, where did she go? And she was floating, I guess. This Indian woman was floating, you know. And I was like, where did she go? So I started feeling her, right? She's right in front of me. I was just feeling her. And I went, holy man, her face is just greasy. Hey, your face is greasy. Your face is wicked greasy. She's like, just shut up. And I was like, okay. So I kept feeling her face, right? Felt her nose, big old nose, right? Big old ears, you know. Hola, you know. And I felt something on my hand, right? I was like, what the heck is that? And I shined the light on my hand. My bro shined the light on my hand and I screamed, oh, what the heck is that? I started stomping it, right? I said, shine the light. I think there's a spider on my hand. What the heck? I was like, you wear spiders on? There's spiders on your face. I said, and I looked down and here I picked it up and there's her freaking eyelash. I was like, holy sick, you know. I said, what the heck? And I looked up at her. She's like, hey, keep playing. And I said, okay. And she went right into my arms. Hey, holy. Then I gave her, I was giving her a wicked hickey, you know, I was lifting up her neck rolls and I was, I'm just joking. That's the end of my comedy stuff, okay? And that ends it. I'm sorry. Might went over a little bit of time, but that's my power hour. I hope you guys had a good time. This is Crazy Kasey Nicholson, Wasnalkek. I'm from the O&E tribe, Blackfeet tribe. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I love you guys. Continue to help yourselves, heal each other. One of our spiritual advisors would always say, a spiritual teacher would always say, love one another, be good to one another, help each other. Thank you guys so much. You guys take care. Thanks again for everything. You guys have a good one. Have a good one. Good weekend. Okay, I'm going.